Dạ vâng, thưa quý vị, phần 2 chương trình thì Tố Uyên sẽ gửi đến cho quý vị cuộc phỏng vấn của Tố Uyên với nữ diễn viên người Anh Quốc Carey Mulligan cho cuốn phim Far From the Madding Crowd. Sau đây chúng tôi xin được gửi đến quý vị cuộc phỏng vấn rất là đặc biệt. Lần đầu tiên Tố Uyên được phỏng vấn một nhân vật rất là nổi tiếng ở bên New York. Bà tên là Iris và cuốn phim tài liệu vừa mới thực hiện xong nói về cuộc đời của bà và nói về tại sao bà lại là một nhân vật rất là popular, rất là nổi tiếng ở bên New York. Cuốn phim tài liệu này được đạo diễn bởi Albert Malis, thưa quý vị. Đây là một cuốn phim tài liệu mà chắc chắn là không thể nào mà không bỏ xem được bởi vì rất là hay, dài đến 78 phút. Mấy trước chúng tôi đã có cơ hội lên thành phố Beverly Hills, ngồi xuống nói chuyện với nhân vật Iris, thưa quý vị. Năm nay bà 93 tuổi và bà đã lập gia đình với người chồng của bà, sống chung với nhau gần 68 năm. Đây là một nhân vật tôi phải hết sức khâm phục, ngưỡng mộ, thưa quý vị, bởi vì bà có một cái gọi là một cái fashion sense, một cái thời trang mà không thể nào mà không biết đến. Xin được gửi đến quý vị cuộc phỏng vấn đặc biệt của Tố Uyên với bà Iris về phim tài liệu của bà mang tên Iris.
When I first met her, there were all kinds of people, all ages, all walks of life, all surrounding her. She was so engaging to everybody, you know, and I could feel the pulse of her life, of her excitement about living.
It's such an honor to talk and meet you today. Can you talk about the making of this documentary? What a great film, great movie.
Oh, I'm so glad that you like it.
We learned so much from watching this documentary.
Thank you.
About
I had no idea what to expect. At first, I didn't want to do it.
Why?
Well, because I thought I have so many other things to do. I was not a household name in those days. I had no ego problems. I had nothing to sell. And I've said thank you very much, but no thank you. And I mentioned that to a few friends, and they thought I was cuckoo.
Oh.
And then another friend, who was a big wheel at Brookhoff Goodman in New York, really let me have it. And she said, I've told this before, she said, you know, people would drop dead just to have Albert want to take a still photograph, and he wants to make a documentary of you, and you refuse him? Who the hell do you think you are? Fortunately, he called back, and he said, would I reconsider? And he invited me to come up to his studio, which was in Harlem, and meet the crew. And I did, and it was kind of love at first sight. And on the spot, I said, okay. And he said they would be very unobtrusive, and I said, well, what will we do? He said, we don't know, we just photograph and then we see. He had no plan, he had no specified script.
Right.
He had no outline, he just photographed what he thought might be interesting. And then so much was taken, there's enough left on the cutting room floor to make another couple of films, I think.
And after seeing this film, I'm just curious, for my own thing, how would you define fashion? What does it mean to you?
Well, fashion it's not style, it's a way of getting dressed, it's a way of, I think, expressing the culture. I think you can tell a lot, well, historians will be able to tell what the economic times were, what the political landscape was, what pop culture was all about, all by looking at the clothing. It's like with the Qing dynasty. Mm-hmm. If you know how to read the symbols and the rank badges, you know exactly who the person is. You know his class and all this kind of thing. And people today, in the same way, I think you can look at people and more or less by the way they're dressed, have some idea of either who they are or who they would like to be.
Mm-hmm. And you are not just a fashion icon, you are also a businesswoman, interior designer, writer, world traveler, TV host, and much more. Tell me, is there anything left for you to accomplish at 93 years old?
Oh, there must be a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things to do. It'd be nice if I learned how to cook.
Oh,
really...
Who cooks at home? Who cooks at home?
Well, my husband used to be, but he can't. My husband is 100 now.
Wow.
We had a wonderful party last summer, and he isn't too well, so he can't cook. Well, I've always had a housekeeper, because I've never had the time. But I do so admire anybody who can cook. And I buy all kinds of products from Wolfgang Puck because I'm so, and I think, and of course I don't know how to use them and they just sit in the closet, but I always think, oh, maybe that will give me an inspiration.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, and thank you for sharing your life story with everyone. All of us, we love, I mean, this is how we learn, and a lot more from you, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Xin quý vị khán thính giả vẫn tiếp tục giữ màn hình SBTN, chúng tôi sẽ trở lại trong giây lát.